My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues, and today we're going to talk about reasons for getting a divorce. It's very interesting because our subject matter for our videos, what we choose to talk about, is often reflective of questions that people ask us. So here's somebody who wants to know, what are legitimate reasons for getting divorced? Well, I can't tell a person why they should or should not get a divorce, or why their reasoning is legitimate or not legitimate, nor is it overly relevant, because remember, we live here in Michigan in a no-fault divorce state. What does that mean? It means to get the divorce itself, you don't need a reason. You don't need a good reason. You don't need a legitimate reason. So whether or not your reason is legitimate, in my eyes, I'm not even sure it matters. You want to call up your lawyer and say, hey, I'm thinking of getting divorced because, I keep telling my wife on Thursdays I don't want her to wear red, and she keeps wearing red. What am I going to do? Is that a reason to get divorced? To my way of thinking, probably not, all things being otherwise good. But I have to tell you that in our state, we have evolved, the law has evolved to the point where if a person just decides, you know what, I got no specific reason, it's just not appealing to me anymore, it just doesn't work for me anymore. In the eyes of the Michigan court, that is enough to break the bonds of matrimony. So, the good news is you don't really need a specific reason. You don't need grounds to ask for a divorce. The bad news is I can't articulate reasons why one might get a divorce that are legitimate. I mean, the obvious ones are clear. Your drug abuse, spousal abuse, domestic violence, these kinds of things. But it doesn't have to be that dramatic. A lot of people will call and say, you know what? I really like this person. I always respected this person. It's great, blah, blah, blah. We have simply drifted apart over the years, and that's it. And you know what? That's a stronger reason to get a divorce, is domestic violence, as in an environment where nobody's asking you what the reason is. So I hope that brings some clarity to the issue. If you have any questions about that, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.